Happy Michael Myers Monday!
Everybody all together now. And I saw those fucking memes, Santa flies tonight, pumpkin pies tonight. I loved all that shit. I thought it was hilarious. Okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Eagle Rise!
Yes, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this little post-turkey, pre-turkey part 2 never-ending Halloween costume gala you just found yourself in the middle of is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly-ish hangout with the greatest fan community in existence, our friends, our returning friends, who I like to call the Triple M crew. So if you're new, welcome. You're here on a good night. And to everybody else, what's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight on what will probably be the last live stream of 2023. Not quite the last Michael Myers Monday itself of 2023 yet. But yeah, we're going to look at some of this year's biggest stories that we covered regarding this franchise. Of course, some H45 goodness thrown in there. We're going to be looking at some poll results from the last couple of weeks because it's been a few weeks since the last time we did this. And, of course, some shout-outs. And even though there's almost like no news this week, I did find just a little morsel or so, just a bit of a news bite or two for us to snack on this evening, in addition to our 2023 year in review Michael Myers edition. So, what's up, everybody? You're here on December 18th, 2023. We had to get one more in here. Many of you saw my post in the community tab and in the IG chat earlier this evening. Didn't really have a whole lot prepared for this week. Wanted to do more, wanted to have more prepared and ready to go. But I think what I do have is going to be fun and just fun kind of relaxed throwback and look back at the year that was. And it as I'm, kind of furiously throwing it all together here in the last hour or so, it was a pretty damn exciting year. And of course, culminating with some amazing news that is just going to carry us right into the new year and beyond, it seems. So, real quick, I'm going to jump over here into the live chat and say hello to some of our friends like Phil and Josh checking in. Teen Wolf, of course, right in here early. I see Tim is here as well. I saw Darlene checked in. Brett Patrick, one of our esteemed channel members. What's up, Brett? Thanks for being here, man. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Mike Johnston in here, Josh Baker. Of course, Michael Myers in here lurking, as usual. That's good to see. Brett is a channel member. I want to remind everybody, it's just $5 a month. It goes a long way in helping us. And if we get just 2 more channel members, I'm going to schedule our first ever members exclusive live stream. And it's just going to be kind of like tonight, even less formal and less even Myers specific. It's just going to be an informal hangout. And but there will be giveaways that we'll be doing during that I'm saving for that. So yeah, 2 more, and we'll go ahead and put that on the calendar. Let's see who else is in here. Solid Saturn in the house. Awesome. I love to see it. Byron, of course. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Tim Leo is checked in. David Sewer in the house. Awesome. Love it. Sam. Happy Michael Myers Monday, man. Brad as well. Brad's music channel. Thanks for being here, too. Excellent. All right, so we got a good crowd filtering in. Again, I don't expect a ton of people, and and probably no new people, which is just fine. It's just our regular crew here, and that's kind of the way we like it on a night like this. And what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna just kind of take a look back at the year that was and some of the stories we covered. And I've got a few clips that I was able to pull up from some of the interviews that we did here, and some of the bigger stories that we covered. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But before we do any of that, we're going to jump into some poll results because we've got quite a few to go over. It's been a couple weeks since our live stream. I think it's been 3, maybe. Yeah. It's been a minute. I know that. So we're going to go ahead and get some of these poll results going, and we're going to launch this week's seasonally themed poll. I think you might find attractive if I can find where we're at here. All right. So 2 weeks ago, I asked, what is your favorite officially licensed Halloween product release of 2023? And that was right after our live stream where we did our Michael Myers themed Halloween holiday gift guide. And we looked at a lot of these items. And the ones I threw out as options was that incredible 25-foot Michael Myers inflatable, the Michael Myers with clothesline bobblehead, Spirit Halloween exclusive, Trick or Treat Studios Halloween tabletop game. Or how about the Corey and or Allison masks, officially licensed from Halloween Ends? Or how about that Halloween Illustrated novelization, the reissue of the novelization? Now that one I might have cheated a little bit, put on there. It was announced this year. They're still taking pre-orders. So in any case, let's go over and look at the results. As you can see, the winner is that clothesline bobblehead with 36% of the votes, of 64 total votes. In second place is that 25-footer, 25%. Then the illustrated novelization. Then the tabletop game with 11%. And the Corey Allison masks getting very little love here, but I love those masks. And I'll go ahead and plug the fact that we are actually sold out of the Corey masks now, officially. Our last one just went out a few days ago. And I'm going to pull up the next week's results as I'm trying to do 2 things at once here. Probably not smart, but we do have a couple Allison Black Cat masks left. If you want one for a stocking stuffer, they make great couples costumes. All right. And then let's find that other poll result. There we go. Who did you want to have dinner with? I asked you which cast member from the recent trilogy specifically would you want to have dinner with, and options I threw out there. And again, you're always welcome to write your own, but I threw out James Jude Courtney, Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Matichak, Will Patton, or Rowan Campbell. And the overwhelming champion of this one with 53% of the vote is Mr. James Jude Courtney, followed by Jamie Lee Curtis with 26%, Andy with 13%, Rowan with 7%, and Will Patton with just 1%. Our own Teen Wolf says, got to go with James. I'd love to hear his stories from what happened behind the scenes, plus in general the stuff he did before getting cast as Michael Myers. A lot of older actors have words of wisdom, and I'd love to hear his advice in navigating a shaped world. I like that. And Nikki says Rowan Campbell is my choice. Very cool. All right, let's pull up now last week's poll results. And you will recall there was no live stream last Monday, but we did try to keep the programming going. Dropped a little Myers related report, and also launched a poll. So last week we asked which Halloween movie has the best opening credits sequence, an often debated question. I know it's tough, but not tough for this crowd with 145 votes. The overwhelming winner, Halloween 78 with 66% of the votes. H4 comes in a distant second with 16%. Wow. I mean, none of these were even close to 78. H2 is next in line with 8%. Halloween 2018, 6%. And H2O, 3%. Wow. I would have thought H4A and H2 would have ranked a little bit closer to 78, honestly. I love H2's opening credits and H4's. And I love all of the opening credits of the recent trilogy. I thought they did a great job, but I couldn't list all of them as options. Let's see. Teen Wolf wrote in H45 is such a classic, especially with how Jamie has that violent nightmare over the boogeyman chasing her in her room, all the while grieving her mom and being all alone. Danielle's performance still hits hard even now. Hell yeah. Yeah, great performance from Danielle. The Horror Universe 3338 says no love for Halloween 2's brand. Oh yeah, that's echoing what I was saying. Wondering why H2 hadn't gotten more votes. I'm surprised too. And Catherine Palmer, our friend, says no number one and says hi, Michael Myers. Awesome. All right, so as I was doing those poll results, we have already launched our new Triple M poll question of the week. And this one, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because we're right here on the eve of this other holiday, and we've been in the middle of these other holidays, which I know they're all lame in comparison, but and also with the recent, I know you all are well aware that Terrifier 3 is no longer going to be set during Halloween, or at least not primarily that we know of, but will take place on Christmas Eve, so it's going to be a Christmas horror movie. So, got me thinking about this week's question. Wondering, would you ever want to see Michael Myers attack on Christmas, or for that matter, any other holiday other than Halloween? That poll just went up a few minutes ago. Already we got one vote for open to it in the right hands. Because the options I threw up, either you're saying no, never, it's got to be Halloween all the way. Maybe you're open to it in the right hands. Or maybe you say yes, absolutely. More Michael is all that matters. Doesn't even matter if it's October 31st or not. This I am going to be fascinated to see the results of. And I do think it's a timely question, given the fact that Art the Clown is jumping from All Hallows Eve to Christmas Eve with Terrifier 3. So there you go. That's this week's poll question. Hit it up in the community tab here on the channel. And thank you to everyone for participating in the previous polls. Let's see, Mike Johnson says that H4 has the best. Josh says poor Will. Yeah, Mike says no way. Michael is Halloween and Halloween only. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty weird, personally. But I want to hear what you guys think. I mean, it would definitely be weird. Rob says Michael Myers can attack any day, anywhere, any place, and I am there. Nice. Teen Wolf says each holiday deserves its iconic slasher, and Michael rules Halloween. Christmas belongs to Billy Lenz, and Thanksgiving now to John Carver. True that. Yeah, I would agree with all of that. Except in the case of art, like he's, I guess going to become universal and try to transcend all the holidays. Maybe that'll be Art's thing. He jumps from holiday to holiday from now on. Maybe, who knows? Like I said in my report on that movie, for all we know, it begins in October, ends in December, or vice versa. For all we know. In any case, it's not Terrifier Tuesday quite yet. That's a conversation for tomorrow, right? All right, like I said, I did find just two tiny little news bites that I want to drop on you guys real quick related to this franchise. And the first one is just a little heads up of what we can look forward to in 2024. We're spending this evening kind of looking back on 23. After this, it's all full steam ahead to 24 for me. So for my collector friends out there, this is something that we can all excitedly look forward to coming next year. Our friends over at Mondo, they were at the Designer Con over the weekend, and they shared a video walkthrough of their booth on Instagram. And among the new items, products, collectibles unveiled there at that event is a new Michael Myers collectible figure. Check it out. This is a screenshot from the Mondo News Instagram. And as you can see, we have a new Michael Myers figure officially licensed from Halloween 2, 1981. And they call these soft vinyl figures. And from what I've gathered in my very brief research on the line, they typically stand anywhere from about 10 to 15 feet, depending on the character. I'm guessing Michael's probably going to be around 11 or 12 feet, not feet, inches, excuse me, about 10 to 15 inches. And I'm guessing Michael's going to be probably about 11 to 12 inches tall. Again, officially licensed from H2. And as you can see, he comes with an interchangeable Ben Tramer head. That's right. Let's just zoom in for a second and appreciate the glory of the Tramer. Again, this is from Mondo, officially licensed Halloween 2 Michael Myers soft vinyl collectible figure with interchangeable Ben Tramer head, coming in 2024. Make room on your shelves, guys. I would have a link down below, but there is none quite yet. But keep watching this space. And another really cool news item. Excited to report our friends at Mad Monster Party. They are returning here to North Carolina, Concord, North Carolina, in February, and they have started unveiling a killer lineup of guests, and two in particular you're going to take especially big interest in. Check it out, especially if you are a Curse of Michael Myers fan, because straight out of Pasadena, following his appearance at age 45, our friend A. Michael Lerner from Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, appearing at Mad Monster Party in Concord, North Carolina. It's happening February 16th, 17th, and 18th. But that's not all, Curse fans. Check this out. Not only is A. Michael Lerner going to be there, Michael Myers himself. Yes, Kara Strode herself is also going to be there. Marianne Hagen, who had to actually cancel her appearance at age 45, unfortunately. So if you missed her there and you're in the area and can make it out to Mad Monster, there you go. She's going to be there with A. Michael Lerner. Mad Monster showing some serious H6 Curse of Michael Myers love. And I love that they also list her Stakeland credit on this promo image as well. She's great in Stakeland, as is Danielle Harris. It's one of my all-time favorite vampire movies ever. If you haven't seen Stakeland, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's awesome. And again, Mad Monster Party is happening in Concord, North Carolina, February 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2024. You can learn more at madmonster.com. All right, so we are going to get into our retrospective of the last 12 months looking through the lens of The Shape and our coverage of all things Michael Myers here at Halloween Daily News. We're really going to be just kind of going through the Michael Myers tag on our main website, HalloweenDailyNews.com, and pulling a couple of the bigger stories and interviews we did with this franchise over the last 12 months or so. So, before I do that, I'm going to take a breath and take a drink. Let's see. Solid's asking, excited for the Halloween TV series? Myself, absolutely. You know I am. So many possibilities and places they could go with it. Right now, the possibilities are literally endless, and that's an insane feeling right now. Not since they announced 2018, what became 2018, and before the Jamie Lee Curtis stuff, before we had any clue of what to expect, has there been this level of anticipation, of just, question mark anticipation. It's palpable, I'm telling you. Darlene says an advent calendar would be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. What's up, Andromeda? Drive safe. Another esteemed channel member. Longtime supporter of the channel here. Love it. Phil's playing the Halloween mobile game right now. Awesome. That's great. Darlene is too. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, that is one of the bigger stories of the year. And again, I'll take some breaks and play a few clips regarding our coverage of some of these. You might have seen those two flashback clips that kicked us off there, taking it back to Pasadena, where my brain still is. Left my brain in California. I don't know about you guys. Okay. Oh, yeah. Almost forgot where we were starting. Well, 2023, you know what the biggest story was. So the first big story of 2023 that we covered for this franchise was, let me pull them out here. This right here. In early January, every year in January, companies like Trick or Treat Studios and many of the Halloween manufacturers in the industry begin to unveil their new products for the year. And in January of this year, Trick or Treat Studios released their product catalog and officially unveiled this, among others, the brand new officially licensed Halloween 07 Michael Myers mask. This is actually the clean version that they call the 92 Murder mask. And Trick or Treat, this was huge news for us because Trick or Treat Studios has forever wanted this license. It's been the only films they didn't have under their license. And so for 2023, they had all 15 films under their license. Or all 13 films, excuse me. Why did I say 15? Yeah, they had all 13 films under their license for the first time. And as it would turn out, the only time, because they're not renewing the license for H2 and H3 next year. But don't worry, they own Don Post Studios now, so that's how they're going to keep producing the Silver Shamrocks. They just probably won't call them that. And of course, the H2 is technically H78, so I'm sure they'll just do it like a sequel version of H78, call it H2. But this was our first big reveal for this franchise of this year. The masks came out, of course, closer to the fall. And as I'm recording this now, I'm showing this off. This is my own personal copy. You can't have this one, but we do have 2 more currently in stock and available for sale. And if you order tonight, you should have it before Santa comes down your chimney next Monday. And it is a beauty, if you can't tell on here. You can check out my full unboxing and showcase video of this mask. The standard version we're already sold out of. But again, we've got just a couple of these, and it looks great. This one I kind of think is my preferred one of the 2. Of course, they also released 2 versions of the H2 mask as well, but we don't have any of those in stock at the moment either. So all right. So moving right along, that was January of 2023, believe it or not. January of 2023 also brought the release of the Halloween Ends soundtrack by John Carpenter and Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies on physical formats. Of course, it had been released digitally a long time ago, back around the release of the movie, but it was released on physical format in January as well. And then in February, on February 2, actually February 2nd, 2023, Christopher Duran, who played Michael Myers in H2O, actually made the announcement. He was the first one I saw make the announcement on social media that the great George Wilbur had passed away over the night prior. George Wilbur, of course, plays Michael Myers in Halloween 4, as does Tom Morga. Wilbur, one of the few actors to play Michael in more than one movie. He also played Michael in Curse, along with A. Michael Lerner. So George appearing in both H4 and H6. That's George and myself taken, 8 years ago, back at Flashback Weekend in 2015. And, George P. Wilbur, he appeared in a ton of other stuff besides, the Halloween films, of course. Everything from Planet of the Apes and Escape from New York, Poltergeist, Firestarter, The Running Man, Ghostbusters, Die Hard, just to name a few. And, of course, he was the subject of a absolutely ingenious Family Guy episode, which not many people can claim. And we'll go over here now to our article that was published on February 2nd of this year. There you can see Sue with George. This was fun. This was a shot I took of George with Eric Preston. They both played Michael Myers in H4. Eric plays the young version. George plays the adult version. And here, also, the other 2 gentlemen, George with Tom Morga, who both play Michael Myers in H4. That was actually taken at H4O back in 2018. And there's Christopher Duran's post. And there's a still from that Family Guy episode. The name of the episode is Tom Tucker, The Man in His Dream. It's a 2011 episode, by the way, if you want to look it up. It's great. Again, I wish I could just blast through this, but there's going to be some little awkward pauses here and there because, like I said, I'm not exactly as queued up and prepped tonight as I try to be. Josh has the Dream H2 and the regular cracked H1. Yeah, they all look great. All right, so moving along, as you can see, when we go back to HalloweenDailyNews.com, again, not everything we do an article on has a video component, and sometimes vice versa. A lot of times, a lot of the stuff we do here on Monday nights, in fact, it's not always featured on the main website. Of course, the Halloween Ends, Corey and Allison masks, also unveiled from Trick or Treat Studios. Like I said, we're sold out of the Corys. Got a couple Allisons left. Now, in March of this year, our interview with the one and only Daeg Fair dropped. And this was an interview, long time coming, as you guys know. I love the Rob Zombie films, and I love Daeg's work in them. And, we had communicated online through social media off and on for a while. Never met in person until actually later on in the year out in Pasadena this year. But in March, we finally had that one-on-one conversation that I've been waiting for. It was awesome. He's awesome. Here's a clip from my interview with Daeg Fair talking about how he got into performing and how that led into ultimately landing the role as young Michael Myers in the Halloween '07 remake. And as always, you can watch the entire interview in the interviews playlist right here on the HDN YouTube channel. Check it out.
Before my mom had me, she was a world renowned burlesque dancer. Traveled around the world doing all that stuff. But then when she had me, bless her soul, she really invested her time and energy and everything right into like making a good kid, really. So she took me to church and stuff as a child, and I seen church plays, and so once I could start talking, I was like, I kind of want to do that, like I remember, I think I was one of the three wise men for a church play. Mm-hmm. And then that started growing into bigger plays and stuff. I was part of a local theater group, Poor Players. We did a lot of Shakespeare. I played Son of Hamlet in one and some other stuff,
Apologies,
and
guys.
there are more lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of student films. Do you feel me? And then it was kind of funny too. We were starting to be like, okay, maybe, because my mom's family's from Canada and we're down here in San Diego, just her and I.
Okay.
And we were kind of starting to think like maybe we should just go to Canada, like just, go to Canada. There's family there, whatever. And then I got this audition and we didn't even realize, because the audition was for Rob Zombie's Untitled Halloween project.
Okay.
I didn't listen to much metal at that time, so we thought it was going to be like a zombie type of project, like Halloween zombie. Okay, spooky. And we actually turned down the audition a couple times because living in San Diego, going up to LA, we always tried to line it up like at least a couple auditions. You feel me?
Yeah.
So eventually we ended up lining it up, and with that one audition, I got it.
That's amazing. I was going to ask about that, what you remembered from the audition process. And you say even before getting there that it came at a time where you guys were considering maybe relocating, like you said. That's interesting to me, that it was kind of at a pivotal moment where this came, it sounds like.
Definitely. I usually tell people if they're like, do you have any advice on whether it's acting, music, or whatever, and it's just don't stop. Don't stop. There's so many people that are going to tell you no. Don't be the person that's going to tell you yourself no, because then you won't make it for sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So what do you remember from that audition process? You said it just took the one audition?
Yeah. I remember going in there and thinking maybe I wasn't going to get it because most of the kids in the audition room that were also waiting to be seen, or I'd assume the same part, were all a few inches shorter than me and had short brown hair.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm still going to do the audition. I'm here, but all right, probably not going to get it. One of these short brown haired kids. Well, that's what it looks like they want, But I vaguely remember doing the audition. The audition tape is actually up on YouTube, I think. So that might be where that memory is stored from. Just see the video because it's been so long now. But no, it was fun. I don't even think those scenes were used in the actual movie because we were talking about going through the woods and hiding a dead cat or something for the audition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do remember. It might be on one of the DVD bonus features. I think maybe they've got some of that anyway. And that is interesting that it was scenes that were never even shot at all. And I also love that the acting kind of started on stage at church doing church plays, which a lot of us, grew up church plays as well as kids, but I love that to go and not too long after that, here you are, getting cast as Michael Myers. So when you're in there,
about 7 years is what it took of the grind and from theater to student film to Halloween.
Wow. So how old were you when you got that?
Halloween? I was 11.
All right. And again, you can watch my full interview with Dave in the interviews playlist. And I'll put the link in the description of this video as well. So from there, looking back through our retrospective of the year in Michael Myers news, the next few weeks brought the first announcements about Age 45. And that, of course, carried on through with until it just got insane right there at the end with over 60, 70 some guests, I think, announced. And then by into spring, we were getting so many merch announcements. We had Wave 2 of the retro action figures from Fright Rags. We had a Halloween 2 tabletop. We had a Halloween 78 tabletop. We had the bobblehead, the clothesline bobblehead, which is, I think, one of the coolest releases of the year. The H2O 4K Steel book. That recent trilogy 4K Steelbook, and the recent trilogy behind the scenes book was also announced. But the biggest of them all, nothing could outdo HalloweenCostumes.com, who had an officially licensed Halloween 78 25-foot Michael Myers inflatable for sale for $500. It launched in early August, and man, it is just one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. And I've not seen one in person yet. They did have one in Pasadena. It went up for like a few minutes, apparently. I was inside at the time and didn't get to see it. But what an unbelievable release. Absolutely a huge story for this franchise. I said it before in our merch roundup, our gift guide, that I love this thing more than anything just because it exists and it's Michael. Because somebody said, yes, it needs to be 25 feet. And yes, Michael is the one who's worthy of it. Absolutely. But I'm not going to go through all of the other merch releases one by one. There were so many great ones and a lot of cool stuff to tie in with the H45 exclusives, of course. And one of the best is that reissue of the original 78 novelization, now with the illustrations. But we're going to count that more as a release next year when it actually starts shipping. So in September, I conducted my next conversation with one of the esteemed alumni of the Men Who Would Be Shape, and Daig's co-star in Halloween 07, the great Tyler Mane. And this was another one, again, I've wanted to talk to these guys since the films came out. So it was just a matter of, arranging it and waiting for the right time. And then it was very fitting for me to kick off the year with my conversation with Daig, and then kind of wrapping up just as we're about to head out to Pasadena, literally like right before that, to have this conversation with Tyler. And that was actually supposed to happen weeks before that, but things like the strike and everything, a lot of things got delayed, and other stuff that would have happened this year got delayed as well. But right now, what I'm going to do, of course, is play a little clip from my exclusive interview with Tyler Mane. If you're a regular viewer, you've seen this, but just sit back, enjoy the flashback, if you will, enjoy the story time with Mr. Mane, and I'll be right here in the live chat as well, and then we'll come back and continue our journey through time. Check it out. And you guys had worked together just a little bit on The Devil's Rejects, right? Was that when you first met Rob, I guess it was?
Yeah, I just auditioned.
Okay.
I didn't know that they were replacing the Rufus.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was auditioning for DDP's role.
Oh, okay.
But they had other plans, and I went in there for 4 days of filming, and I thought, okay, that's it, and I had a great time, got to meet a lot of cool people. And then a little while later, I get a phone call, and it's Rob. And he says, hey, I'm making this movie, and I wrote it with you in mind, and if you don't do it, I don't want to do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. What is it? And then he explained how he was going to tell the backstory and make him more than a one-dimensional character, which I think is really cool, because it shows his backstory of how he became a product of his environment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask that if it was just a phone call like that Rob called you, if there was any audition or anything, but he literally told you, if you don't do it, I'm going to walk away from it.
Yeah. And it's funny because I remember hearing afterwards, he was, I think, on Jimmy Fallon or one of those shows, and they said, oh, do you know who's going to play the character? And he goes, yeah, I do, but I don't want to say because then he'll ask for more money. I'm like, damn.
Oh man. Ah,
Yeah, he knew all along.
yeah. Yeah, he definitely had you pictured for his portrayal. And like you said, it was very striking because none of the movies had ever spent that much time on the backstory. And I actually had your co-star Dave on here not too long ago, earlier this year. And so this is another full circle moment for us here at HDN. But we had him on here and we talked about that, how it was like you're seeing Michael, you know, behind the scenes and getting inside Michael's head. And that's really what I like about Rob's movies is it's much more about what's going on in Michael's head than any of the others, you know, where it's the others are about, you know, the victims or the survivors. And
Right.
Whereas he really wanted to dive in there and get inside his head.
Yeah, and show you just the dark deepness of Michael Myers, which was cool.
And like you said, a product of his environment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you were familiar with the character. Were you like a fan of the original film? I mean, how familiar, what was your relationship with Michael Myers prior to getting that role?
I was semi-familiar with the character. I'd seen the movies in the past, but I got to admit it didn't compute completely until I went back and did my research, and I was like, oh man, I got some big shoes to fill. So, and then Rob and I were just talking and saying how we were going to do it, and it turned out pretty good, pretty intense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love how it turned out, and of course, it made a ton of money at the box office. Held the Labor Day box office record for like a decade, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
14 years.
Yeah, 14 years. And yeah, last year was the 15th anniversary of that remake. And this year, 16 years of that, 45 years of this whole franchise. And you said when you went back and watched, you started realizing, all right, I've got some big boots to fill, we'll say. But when did it really hit you? Was it after the film came out, or at what point did it really hit you that you were part of this kind of elite fraternity of guys that have worn that mask on screen and this massive legacy with this massive fandom?
Yeah, I mean, like I realized it was pretty big and that it had a big fan following. But when I was at the H40,
yeah,
I was like, we were taking these pictures with everybody, and I was like, who's that guy? He goes, oh, he was a Michael Myers and so-and-so, and I'm like, how do I not know this? There were so many people in that picture. I was like, and it was just people that were related to the character, that.
Yep.
And, at that point, I realized just how big it was.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that photo you're talking about of that epic gathering, and
yeah.
I'm sure it'll be done again at the 45th. And of course you guys came back together. You did the sequel. I mean, was that just an easy decision when Rob called again? You were just like, hell yeah, I'm in, or did he have to convince you of?
No, I was signed to a 3-picture deal actually.
Oh, okay.
And we ended up doing 2 of the 3, and the third one was put on the shelf because Rob wasn't going to do it, but Scout and I were going to do it back in the day, and they were going to greenlight it and everything, but they didn't know who was going to direct it or where the script was coming from or anything like that. So
I got you.
And I'm kind of glad they did, because it wouldn't have, I don't know that it would have had the same weight that Rob's did, which is very important.
You mean if another director, another creative team came in?
Someone else would have come in and tried to, take those reins, so to speak.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I remember when they first announced the 2018 film, and you, I think, might have been the first person from this, from previous films that weren't necessarily involved in the new ones, that I remember you on social media. You were like, "Hey, this is great." I think it was right when they announced that Nick and James were going to be doing their thing as the new Michael, and you were like, "This is awesome. I'm thrilled to have had my time and thrilled to pass it on." And I remember seeing that at the time, thinking, that's pretty classy and cool. That just wishing the next iteration of this character well, because as we all always say, I mean, Michael's so big, he's going to be reinvented long after we're all gone. I think
So many times, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And with playing him twice, I was like, okay, every time I want to do something, kick up the volume,
Yeah.
So if we would have done a third one, I wouldn't know what we would have had to do to make that kind of an impact. Because from 1 to 2, two is way more aggressive than the first ones in that, and because I just don't want to be. I didn't want to be just doing the same thing every film, because it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah. And I know you and Scout have remained tight, and whenever I see you guys or pictures of you guys on your social media out at conventions together, you're always having fun, goofing off, and have remained friends, almost like a family, which is cool for us as fans to see.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. We are pretty much pretty much like family. And it's the way it is with all the characters, Danielle and Christina and all of them. Like when we run into each other, it's just like, hey, how is like no time has passed practically. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
What would you say has been your most surprising thing about this 16-year journey from getting that role and doing that rewatch of those films and kind of realizing, and then now here we are looking at the big 45th anniversary of the whole franchise and everything. What's been like? Is there one overriding thing that surprised you the most?
Just just how big the fan following is, which is fantastic. Because like without you guys, the fans, we wouldn't have a job. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I love what you did in the role, and I know tons of our readers and viewers do as well. So now with 45 years coming up, you're doing something really cool there, and it's going to be raising money for a great cause, and you've been doing it at some other conventions, and I want to hear about that, but maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what your new project is first, because that ties in with this great charity that you're working to raise money for now. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about your latest project.
Yeah, sure. I've got my own production company, Main Entertainment, and we're doing a graphic novel. So imagine Sons of Anarchy meets True Detective with a human trafficking theme. So what I've been doing since we did our research for this graphic novel, I've decided that I have to do something to give back to the community and to people. I'm teaming with deliverfund.org and Trafficking in America Task Force.org to help them raise awareness and get their message out. But we are doing a Kickstarter that goes live October 17th for this graphic novel.
Hello, check 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me, if anybody is out there still. Okay, I think we are back. I think. Maybe. What's up, vibes? Alright, well, somebody's still out there. Alright, T Wolf, thank you. Alright, good. Alright, I don't know what happened there, guys. Our Wi-Fi, everything went out. and just started a chain reaction. So anyway, I don't know at what point Tyler's clip got cut off, but you can watch the full interview elsewhere on this channel. All right, so from there it was into H45, and that's where we saw many of you guys out there, and it was epic and awesome and once in a lifetime. And of course, I got a clip, a flashback. All right, good. Most of you are still here. Sweet. Appreciate it, guys. Again, I'm not sure what happens, so I'm going to knock on wood and proceed with caution, okay? All right. Now, this brings us to late September, early October, H45, 45 Years of Terror, so much awesomeness. We've just recently put, oh yeah, one more merch item that I gotta mention. It wasn't released until just here recently, but that Ultimate Michael Myers from Ends finally out from NECA. Thank the powers that be, but check this out. From H45, we've updated some of our galleries, including the Halloween 78 panel at HalloweenDailyNews.com, where you can watch highlights, video highlights from the panel, as well as see tons and tons of photos like this. Young Michael Will Sanin reunited with his first victim, Sandy Johnson, aka Judith Myers. And we've got some more cool photos that are going to be added here soon too, but I just want to let you guys know that we just added some stuff, and not a lot of people have seen these yet. There's John Michael Graham, Nancy Loomis, of course, PJ Souls, of course, and Nick Castle's in there too somewhere. Well, here he is. There's Nick. So yeah, when you go to HalloweenDailyNews.com, just hit the Photos tab, and that'll take you to these galleries. Ton of cool images. And this moment caught on video, this impromptu moment that it was during our walkthrough towards the end, and I call it the Gathering of Shapes. Check it out. Straight from Pasadena, H45, 45 Years of Terror.
When you're done doing that?
Having an impromptu gathering of shapes here. Shapes of all eras and decades gathering here at H45. I think we have just about every shape from every movie represented somewhere here. Yes.
Get them from there.
Shapes facing off, shapes squaring off. Look at all these shapes. Everywhere we look, more shapes. I'm in a sea of shapes, literally. ultimate gathering of shapes.
There's one. There's another.
And look at us!
Oh, it's Batman pajamas. What's up? Yeah, what's up, guys? You look marvelous.
James.
Yes, James Hugh Courtney in the house.
Yeah, that was such an epic moment. I mean, it was already just totally amazing to have so many, literally just a sea of shapes, like I said in there. And then here comes James, right on cue, totally impromptu, and we were right there to capture it all. I love getting moments like that. And here they are in still. And some of you watching were probably behind a few of these masks. And so, like I said, we've got so many more exclusive photos posted in just the last couple weeks at HalloweenDailyNews.com, added to our video coverage of these various panels. Here you can see a shot from the Men Behind the Mask panel from left. That's Aaron Armstrong, Christopher Duran, Bradley, and A. Michael Lerner. Still keeping it on theme somewhat. But we've got tons of just candid images of these guys on stage doing their thing. And you can check all of that out again in the photos section of HalloweenDailyNews.com. Where you can see more stuff like that. And so that brings us to post H45, October. You know, Malik Akkad himself teased some big news and announcements was coming in the month of October during his panel at H45. He wasn't lying, and they didn't disappoint. Those announcements came, and it started with Michael Myers appearing in the Fortnite video game. And then it continued with another game related announcement. Maybe still not exactly what everybody wanted, but something that I think is proven to be very popular. And I did finally download it to my phone myself. I've started playing it. I turned Sue onto it too, and she's destroying me. She's like way up there in like level 40 some, and I'm like level 6 or 7, I think. But anyway, I'm talking, of course, about the mobile game, Match Made in Terror, the officially licensed Michael Myers mobile game. And it went live. It was launched in October, and just last week, actually on Monday, a week ago, they did an update and added some new levels. And it is kind of cool that you can see all these different characters from the different films and stuff pop up in there, even outside of just the 78 film, which I think is pretty cool. So I did, even though we didn't have a live stream last week, I did post a very brief update regarding the game that did come out, since they were kind enough to drop those new levels on a Monday, on a Michael Myers Monday. Thought that was awfully sweet of them. But you can find that update in the oh well, actually here you can watch it right here if you want. Here, check it out. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Sorry about no live show tonight, but I did want to jump on here real quick with just a brief news bite that dropped earlier today regarding that officially licensed mobile game, Halloween, A Match Made in Terror. And some new levels have just been released for the game, a new update that dropped apparently today. So we have included a link in the description of this video if you haven't already downloaded the game. In the game, after escaping from Smith's Grove, Michael Myers is on the loose, lurking in the shadows of Haddonfield, heading home to the Myers house. And as one of the town's residents, you play and summon your wit and courage to outsmart the relentless slasher to survive this Halloween night. And players are challenged with a series of ever increasingly difficult match 3 puzzles utilizing the iconography and scenes from the original 1978 classic Halloween. It features many of the familiar characters and locations from the film, and it is available to download right now from Google Play and the App Store, and we've put a link to the official website in the description of this video. It's free to download, and I did finally download it to my phone recently. I haven't played it a whole lot, and I'm not very good at it at all. I'm only at level 3 myself, so I haven't gotten very far on it. But let us hear from you in the comments below if you're enjoying this game. If you reached the end and are now excitedly downloading this update, let us hear from you, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our ongoing coverage of all things Michael Myers and everything else we got coming your way right here on the HDN YouTube channel. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. Okay, so there it is. There's the latest on the mobile game. Are you guys playing it? I know some of you guys were talking about it earlier in the live chat tonight. You guys enjoying that game? Phil's stuck on level 21. I hear you, man. That's like me. Yeah, struggling. All right. Now, again, this is not an exhaustive list of every single news item we covered here, much less every single thing we discussed here during these Michael Myers Monday live streams in the past year. No way. There was so much more. I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, condensing some stuff. There was the Deborah Hill documentary and just tons of stuff. There's my exclusive interview, my most recent exclusive interview with a member of this franchise and a former Haddonfield resident, Marion Singh, who has that great kill scene in Halloween 2018. I urge you to check that out as well. I'm not going to play a clip from that right now, as it's actually midnight right here on the East Coast. So, not that it matters, but we are going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. But we are going to now talk about what is easily, without comparison, the biggest news story of 2023 when it comes to Michael Myers and this franchise. And I am, of course, talking about the announcement that Trancas is teaming once again with Miramax to bring the Halloween franchise to a series format. Again, the term TV series has been used. What is even a TV series in this day and age in 2024? You know, I mean, is it a streaming show on Netflix? I mean, I think that counts as a TV series. Is it a network series that airs with commercials on like NBC or ABC? You know, on a Thursday night at 10 p.m. You know, is it or something else, some other thing? And again, in that announcement, cinematic universe was a term that came out, and a lot of people got hung up on that term. And I've said here before that, you know, I'm not so hung up on that term because we don't know what that means exactly. There's a lot of possibilities, and I think, like I said earlier tonight, I'll say it again. That is the coolest thing about this project, is that right now, as far as we know, the possibilities are quite endless. The sky is the limit, what they could do. And we've talked about it many times here already, just speculated, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if, what about every season they do it like American Horror Story, where it's you know, some recurring actors, but they're playing different characters, and it's a different story. But because this is Halloween and there's so many unresolved storylines and timelines, they could actually use this series. Could, not saying they will, probably won't. Don't get your hopes up too much. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, it's one way they could go. If you think about it, they could go and like, let's wrap up that Jamie Lloyd story with a requel to H4, and then next season let's wrap up the H6 version of Jamie Lloyd, but do that better than H6 did in either the producer's cut or the director's cut. Do it in what Daniel Farrens wanted to do in some way. You know what I'm saying? You could requelize it all with the series, or you could go the other way that I've advocated for long since before they even made this official announcement, that a Loomis series, Bates Motel style, set in Smith's Grove Sanitarium. You know, Michael just on the outskirts. That's the way to go. But you cannot deny that this deal with Miramax is the biggest thing to happen in this franchise since the 2018 deals. You know, since we got that photo of Malik Akkad sitting with Jason Blum and John Carpenter, and they're saying, guess what, we're making a new movie, and it's the three of us working together. And that was our first moment of like, all right, this is really off the ground. I mean, Halloween Returns was about to go before cameras. You know, that was really, but when that happened with the 2018 film, it was huge. And that's where we're at with this right now, where it's, and we're not even there quite yet, because it's still, until we get something like that where things are really in motion, it's kind of hard to still believe, you know. But again, I go back to Malik's comments during his panel at H45, which we're going to have more from that, don't worry. That's coming soon. But you know, he did say that it was going to be an exciting time for fans of this franchise for the next few years. Those were his words. Years. And when I think cinematic universe, I just think that it's an idea that maybe they could take a character from this show and incorporate them into a movie that they make down the road at some point. Doesn't mean that every single thing's going to be interconnected like Spider-Man Multiverse. I don't think so in that respect. I'd be shocked if so. But I do think I think that they're just open ideas. And I think it's going to be really fun in a couple weeks when we get into the new year to start seeing this production come together. Because you got to imagine, now that the strikes are over, you know, things are in motion. Things are happening. They're not happening tonight, like this week, I don't think, because most of Hollywood kind of goes on vacation the last 2 weeks of the year, typically. So there's not gonna be a whole lot of news breaking in the next 2 weeks. I don't anticipate. You never know. You never know. But I would imagine that things are probably gonna start moving pretty quick. If they're hoping to make a fall premiere, which would be awesome. then again, if they're looking realistically at like 2025, then we're going to be getting little tidbits for all of 2024. We're going to get a writer team assembled. We're going to get the first list of directors. We're going to get some actors, maybe some characters even confirmed. And that's going to be part of what we're going to have to look forward to for this franchise. And I do still say, when it comes to like the game that a lot of you really want, like a Texas Chainsaw style game or Friday the 13th style game like they've done, I do still believe that it's not a matter of if, just a matter of when, and it's probably going to be sooner than later. Especially given the fact that this mobile game seems really popular and people are eating it up, and you guys are too. So, give me your thoughts on this, and what do you think? What stories did I miss? Do you agree that this TV series is the biggest deal? And again, we're calling it the TV series because that's what they specifically mentioned, but you got to keep in mind that initial article that broke that news, it says that it mentions films as well, and Miramax is already working with Trancas on the film. So again, I think it was very conscious of Malik and Trancas and his team to go in with Miramax and say, look, we're already in bed with them on the movie side. If we're going to ever hope to incorporate whatever we're going to do on TV into the movie side and have that as any type of cohesive thing, it kind of makes sense to be in bed with them over here too. And I think that is where a lot of this probably ultimately came down to. That and, say what you want, but I think they're probably a better fit than A24. Just my opinion. But obviously, I'm excited to see where all this goes. I think the possibilities are endless, and I think it will be yet another entry point for another generation. It will be another arguing point for certain haters out there. But I just get excited with the possibilities of what they could do and where it could all go. And I'm hoping that, they are going full steam ahead into production as soon as we get into first of the year. All right, I see Andromeda, another one of our illustrious channel members, has joined us. Good to see you. Glad you made it in safe from the drive. Appreciate it. Andromeda just want to see Michael again, hopefully with Dr. Loomis. Yeah, I would love to see. Again, I'm a broken record here, but if you ask me, and people have asked me, you guys ask sometimes, but yeah, my personal vote would be concentrate on Loomis. Cast the perfect Loomis. Maybe that'll be next week's poll question. Who should be the new Loomis? Because I think, you get a really kick-ass actor, a quality actor, and have him at an age that they can play him young enough to where, you can play him for a while. I think that'd be the way to go. And also, when you talk about Smith's Grove, or when I talk about it, it's 15 years worth of material that nobody's really touched. I mean, Rob Zombie touched a little tiny bit of it, but you could do so much with that time frame and just any little section of it, and all the other crazy people that came in and out of there through those years. And I think it would be really awesome. Again, apologies for those of you that have heard me say this before, but it's my pitch, I guess. But I would say it'd be great to see kind of in the case of the week type thing. You'd have your overarching stories, but in a way, you can, if it's a Loomis show, kind of almost have it case of the week, and he would solve a lot of these cases. I think you can really show the brilliance and the heroism of the character in ways that you don't really see by the time we meet him in Halloween, and he's been getting more and more frustrated with the shape in those 15 years. But you could see him more in his prime where he's like, solving things and but which makes him more frustrated dealing with, this kid who would of course be down the hall in room number 31, right? Anyway, that's what I say. You guys tell me what you think about the Halloween TV series. Am I crazy or what? Should it be Smith's Grove? Should it be Jamie Lloyd breaks out of Smith's Grove, adult Jamie Lloyd as Daniel Harris? Should it be totally unrelated to anything they've ever done before? I always liked with American Horror Story how they could change it up every season. And even if you didn't love this season, well, next season maybe it's more to your taste and you like that better. And they use the same actors playing different roles and all that stuff. If they did something like that and it would always just kind of culminate on Halloween and that'd be a way to build up. Because, again, if you're talking about the Halloween franchise, you're talking about the Halloween holiday, that's another thing. I think it's got to be incorporated, but it goes back to our poll question of the week about would you ever want to see Michael attack on any other night of the year outside of October 31st? And, there's something to be said for that too. So, all right, there's all your food for discussion in the comments below here in the live chat. I'm going to take a breath for a minute, read some of your live comments here, and then we're going to do shout outs and get out of here and go to bed. That's a good point, Andromeda. The Ancient Ireland opening from the original novelization, even if it's done as Dream. Good point. And yeah, the comics are great. Again, take note. Those of you that were there will recall, and those of you that weren't there might not know this, but at Malik Akkad's panel in Pasadena at H45, his moderator was Steph Hutchinson. And many of you may recognize that name if you've read the comics. Steph wrote some of those comics that are some of the most popular, and I found that very interesting that he is still apparently very much a part of the Trachis team. I sat there 2 seats away from Malik during Carpenter's panel, and on that same front row, he was there too, Steph. Part of the team, part of the family is what I'm saying. All these years later, which I think is great, because if they could somehow maybe incorporate some of those ideas from the comics, especially those that he was writing, some of the stuff that was never properly finished, and maybe that's their entry point to maybe that's season 1. Let's finish the comics that were never finished, and then if that works, well, let's finish some other stuff that was never finished, maybe. And then maybe if that works, you do some original stuff. Or maybe you start with the original stuff and then move in it. Literally, possibilities are endless. For now, that could all change any day now, but I'm enjoying this moment of just it's so wide open. It's refreshing in a way, it's really exciting. Yeah, Rob, I agree. The Ireland route, Andromeda, yeah. Play that up. Dig into those novelizations. I mean, I don't, think that it's all part of a master plan, but yeah, Steph being there from the comics, then re-releasing the original novelization, all these things kind of coming into play, kind of owning these different, even more different choose your own adventure of this franchise. I think they should. I think that's a good move. I would own every corner of this franchise if they can. And Malik said, again, I go back to his own words at that panel. He said that the level, the height that Universal presented Michael, they're not going to step down from that on future projects. So that makes me feel like it's going to be a prestige show, a prestige genre show. I don't know if a prestige show is like, you know, awards bait, like Fargo type thing. I don't know if it'll be that, but you know, I would like to think if it was on something like Max or Netflix, you know, they would really roll out the red carpet for it or something. Which Netflix doesn't really do for anything, actually. They don't promote their stuff very well at all, really. But that's another story. But, all right. Yeah, I agree, guys. The comic book route would be great if they were to adapt some of them, you know, per season. Start with that. Um, and I would not be afraid if I were them to reach out to the many, many members of this Haddonfield family. Because I just think us fans, you know, some people don't like fan service, but I feel like I like seeing those cameos. I like keeping it in the family. I like the callbacks and stuff like that. And I think there's just so much opportunity for that and to just really live in the whole Haddonfield and take us places like Russellville, you know, and you know, and Haddonfield Memorial and all these just iconic locations that we know so well. And even tie in other stuff, you know, from the different timelines and just do some kind of crazy mishmash. But I do think the first stuff we're going to start getting out will be, you know, maybe like a showrunner, writers. I would think the writers might already be in place, might already be working on it. If not, that's got to be happening pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know that we'd get actor talent announcements before any of that stuff. I think all that's going to come way before any of that. But again, if there's any plan of having this ready to go by next fall, I would expect them to get going pretty soon after the new year. But I also wouldn't be surprised at all if it's going to be trickling out kind of slow in 2024 for a fall 2025 rollout of whatever this turns out to be. But you guys tell me what you think. And if anybody out there has got any tips, you can reach us anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com/contact. Or just use the email in the address of this YouTube channel. Can you buy the comic books? I mean, they're available, you know, from third-party sellers all around. Yeah, I found one, not one of Steps, but a Halloween 2 comic at just a random music store in a mall a few years ago, and it was really reasonably priced. And yeah, I couldn't believe I found it. Yes, John Carpenter writing music for the comic books. How amazing would that be? Yes, totally agree. Well, again, I do believe that Malick, you know, his first move at any point now going forward is and should be always call him John Carpenter and get him involved in any way he's willing to be involved. Starting with exec producing, script approval, just advisory, and if he's down to do the music, which it seems like he is these days, absolutely. Yeah, you got to. And, you know, it's possible they could even have him direct. We're talking a series. He just directed an episode, virtually, albeit from his couch at home, but he just directed an episode of, you know, the series that he and his wife produce, Suburban Screams. All right, what's up? Lee the Machine Bowers, what's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Another one of our esteemed channel members. You too can become part of the Halloween Daily Club. It's just $5 a month. Like Andromeda, like Lee, like Brett, wherever he's at, some of our other members. Again, we need just 2 more, and then we are going to schedule our first ever members exclusive event. And there'll be giveaways just for the members. So, all right. Let's see. Lee says, after Christmas, I'll ship you a gift. Oh, it's a Making Halloween 20. Ah, thank you, man. That is awesome. That would be amazing. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, our shipping address is in the description of the video. You can find it in there. Yeah, because you guys were asking. That's awesome. Rob, John Carpenter would kill it writing comics for Michael. He's written comics, he's written that Joker comic. He's written some good comics. Yeah, him and Sandy are all about the comics. That's what they should be doing, is getting Steph and Sandy and John and their Storm King Publishing all working on these comics, and then let that feed into whatever this show's going to be, or maybe that's the shared universe comics series, and then it all leads into a big Avengers style movie. Not Avengers style, you know what I mean. Awesome, Lee. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that is great. Yeah, I agree, Andromeda. He's addicted to creating, so we have a good chance. Yeah, I mean, while he's here, I don't think he's going to sit still, and he's pretty much said so. He said, that he can't sit still, and just looking back, I mean, that's what Mallet, his first move in 2018 was. As soon as he got the full control back from Dimension, it was like, let's what are we going to do now? Well, the first thing is let's try to get the creator right involved, and I think that was just the best move. And then to have him do the music is just the best thing. I mean, maybe the best thing about the recent trilogy is the music. I mean, because it is, I know I always say it, but it's kind of undisputed. Like people can debate whatever they want about this casting or this writing choice or this plot choice, but I don't hear really anybody debating the scores for those 3 movies. I mean, is that like the absolute best aspect of the recent trilogy? It might be. I don't know. Is that overreach to say that? I don't know. I don't know that it is. Just because it's so undisputed, or is it? Are you guys out there shaking your heads like, I just don't hear a lot of people that don't like it, or anybody. Josh says Carpenter may be at age 50. Yeah, I mean, I think, if he's still with us, God willing, but yeah, I mean, from what Sean said in an interview, that he was kind of surprised at how much he liked it, and so yeah, I could see that. That would be awesome. All right. Well, this has already turned in to be a much longer evening than I even thought it was going to be. And that's not even including the glitches. But let's do some shout outs real quick, shall we? Final shout outs of the year. jumping over to the site formerly known as Twitter. This is from a Michael Myers Monday regular poster, Lily Myers at Lilith Myers 97. Michael with a naughty or nice hat. I think we know the answer to that, right? This is another one from the site formerly known as Twitter. Michael Holiday Love. You'll see the theme. Yes, there's running theme. This is from Christopher Dyer at CD3 Gator. And one more from the site formerly known as Twitter. This is I've seen this GIF before, but this is from Sarah Screwdriver at Scary Scara. And it just never really gets old. So random. Jumping over to Instagram now. Let's see. This is from our friend I Wish I Had You All Alone 23. Always posting great Michael Myers Monday content every week. And you'll see there she is down there in the corner of the photo on the right. And she's rocking her Karen Strode Christmas sweater from Halloween Kills. Very fitting. And another one from Instagram is from Nervous Pretzel. And says there's nothing to be scared of. And the great sit-up scene. And yeah, that's kind of Christmas coming back to... Yeah, I just totally relate to this image on every level. I think all Halloween people do. And speaking of our buddy Dag, here he is talking about Michael Myers circa 07. He shared a bunch of fun flashback clips remixed on Instagram today. Check him out at Great Dag Official over on IG. And we're going to jump over to the TikTok for one more. This has come from Speedy Myers at Speedy on TikTok. It says doing some workout for my exercise this morning. And there we go. Working out with his Michael mask. I mean, if it's not with your mask, are you even doing it? I don't think so. I think Speedy would agree. Yeah, if you're gonna do it with your mask, right? Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it, man. I hope you and yours have a great holiday season as well. Like I said, I do anticipate this will probably be the last live stream of the year. Next Monday, I'll definitely be tied up with family stuff for the holiday. Now, if some big news breaks between now and January 1st, of course, we'll be here to discuss it. And New Year's Day, that's a Monday as well. Pretty cool. We're kicking off 2024, which may be this big TV year on a Monday. I like that. Turn on your notifications. You never know. Something may happen, but probably won't be live that week either. So we're gonna be on little hiatus for a couple weeks. No slight winter hibernation, I guess. But don't never fear. That does not mean that there won't be content coming your way here on the Halloween Daily channel, because every day is Halloween after all, and we got lots of cool stuff coming your way. There was one more interview from this franchise that was going to take place this month, and it might still actually take place before the end of the month, but in any case, it's not going to most likely see the light of day until sometime next month, but that's going to be coming very soon. But I got a lot of other cool stuff. I hope you checked out the most recent interviews. Charlotte Fountain Jardim from Natty Knox talks about working with Danielle Harris, getting scream lessons from a scream queen, and lots more. That's our latest one-on-one exclusive interview. I hope you'll check it out. I mentioned Marion Singh earlier. Another awesome interview from the last couple weeks. All those you can find anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com in the interviews tab, or right here on the HGN YouTube channel. Just go to the interviews playlist and you can see them all right there. We got a bunch on there. I hope you'll check them out. I hope you'll use this time over the holidays. Get caught up on any you haven't, and drop me a comment after you watch them. Let me know what you think. What did I miss on asking them, and maybe I'll try to ask them next time. And I'm always all ears on who you would like us to try to interview here. Not that we can always get them, but we'll definitely try, and it helps to be able to say, hey, look, our viewers would love to have you come talk to us. So, to those of you, blah, 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 to those of you celebrating the holidays this week and this month, I hope you and yours have a good and a safe one, and sending you all good vibes. This has been great. I didn't think I was going to do this a few hours ago, but here we are now, going on over 2 hours, well into the next day. So pretty much par for the course, how it goes here. You guys rock. Lee, Andromeda, I appreciate you guys. Channel members, I appreciate all you guys. Non-channel members, I appreciate all you guys just for hanging out, just for listening to me blab all night, participating in the live chat, keeping it lively, keeping it healthy and positive too. That means a lot that we're all friendly in here and doing it for the right reasons. So when it comes to this franchise, we got a lot to be excited for, a lot to look forward to coming very soon. When it comes to the channel, we got all kinds of cool stuff. Every day is Halloween. And like I said, January, which is just a couple weeks away now, 2 weeks away as a matter of fact, we're going to have new product reveals coming out of like Halloween and Party Expo and events like that. Trick or Treat's going to be dropping their new product lineup. All kinds of cool stuff is going to be coming out very soon. And we here at HGN, we are going to be your source for that Halloween TV series. I'm going to be digging for scoops, guys. We're not just going to be regurgitating the same stuff that everybody else reports. I mean, yes, we'll do plenty of that. But we're going to do it with a certain flair, certain HDN gravitas, hopefully. But we're not going to stop there, is the point. We're not going to stop with doing it with that HDN gravitas. We're going to go deeper and dig deeper and try to get some scoops for you guys and really break some news on this thing. And be reliable, too, because I will tell you that I'm not going to get caught up on, rumors and speculation and stuff like that. Speculation is one thing. Like we can speculate. I always say there's plenty of room for speculation, but we as a news site and news organization, we don't want to report on rumors, and we might address them and discuss them here in an informal matter on Monday nights. Now, I always say this isn't a news broadcast on Monday nights. This is a fan discussion. So that's not to say we won't discuss and speculate on things like that, but we're not going to routinely report or cover unsubstantiated rumors until we can, put something behind them that we can independently confirm. So that's something that you can trust from Halloween Daily News right here. That I don't know if everybody else is gonna tell you about, but you can trust us for that. All right, you guys have been awesome. Lee, thank you. Andromeda again. Phil, Teen Wolf, Josh, all you guys. Rob, all you guys rock. Everybody else I missed. Sorry for the technical glitch earlier tonight. Appreciate all you hardcores hanging out through the glitch. You survived the glitch, and you were still here after. So whatever that means, you're like through the blip now or whatever. So congratulations. It's the first day of the rest of your life. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Thank you so much. Like the video, drop us a pumpkin down in the comments, share it, tell all your friends, and we'll be back in January with all new Michael Myers Monday live stream shows, and we'll do some other fun live stuff, and we're gonna do some other just cool stuff. Like one thing I'm gonna do, well, we'll talk about it next time. I'm not even gonna tease it right now. We'll talk about it next time. It's the Chia Pet. It's the Chia Pet. Yeah. You remember the Chia Pet? Yeah, I'm going to document it like every day as it grows. Okay. See, I've said too much. I let the cat out the bag. I let the Chia out the bag. Damn it. All right, guys. Look for more fun stuff coming this week. Have a safe and fun holiday with your loved ones. And thank you all for watching. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. You guys kill it every time. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Merry scary Michael Myers Monday to you all, and to all a good fright. Happy Michael Myers Monday.